Here we go. It's 2 a.m. and I just finished watching the premiere of the first two episodes of the new X-Men 97 series on D+, and I gotta tell you right off the bat, it met every expectation I could have for this show. I was skeptical before watching. I am someone who has not liked a lot of the D+ Marvel live action shows, and I've not liked a lot of the creative choices that have been made in those shows. This show is different, other than being animated, because I feel that after watching the 2-episode premiere, that the creators had a real connection to the original source material and tried their hardest to honor that piece of Marvel legacy. I loved the animation itself, very reminiscent of the original. Now this is a spoiler-free review, so I'll try my best not to let anything slip out. The action scenes, one of which can be seen in this video because it was released by Marvel Online, where the X-Men fight a bunch of Sentinels, was incredibly well done. Every character has a moment to show off their powers, and the sequencing of this scene, along with every other action scene, were executed perfectly. What can I say? At this point, I'm a convert, from skeptic to invested viewer. As far as anything overtly woke or agenda setting, look, the X-Men have always had a message of tolerance and peace and coexistence, and to expect anything different here would actually be an insult to the X-Men legacy. Therefore, my challenge to anyone out there reading anything into the tolerance message is this. Ask yourself, is this animated series trying to push a current day message, as some call it? Or are you imposing your own biases onto something that if you saw 30 years ago would not even be an issue? For me, I did not get any sense of pandering or social messaging beyond what the X-Men usually give me from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and on. What I got was the X-Men that I knew and loved as a kid. Now, if you're a Bishop or Morph or Jubilee fan, you do not get a lot of them. More Jubilee than any of the other two for the story purpose. Gambit and Beast are a blast to watch in action. Cyclops is a badass. Jean, who's pregnant, shows off her powers, but she's not in the big action pieces for obvious reasons. Storm is OP as hell, as she usually is. And Wolverine is our Wolverine. The other part of my first impression is this. There is a focus on relationships in this series, from the group struggling to find their way collectively without Professor X, to Scott trying to fill Charles' shoes, to Scott and Jean trying to figure out how to be parents while still living in the world of the X-Men, to Magneto struggling to find acceptance with the world, as well as trying to lift the heavy weight that Charles left on him by leaving him his legacy of hope that mankind and mutant kind could find common ground. And while there are a couple of scenes of dialogue that run a little long, they're used effectively and serve the narrative very, very well. As for a spoiler-free review, I say this. If you loved the 90s X-Men animated series, this new offering from Disney will make you feel good because it does all the right things, both visually and narratively. I cannot think of anything more that I would have wanted from a premiere episode, and I'm definitely hooked and invested, and when the credits rolled on the second episode, I was left wanting more. Overall, a great job, well done, and I can only hope the series continues to meet the expectations it set for itself tonight. But as always, that's my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Were you able to catch the premiere? Did you stay up late to watch it? What did you think? Did it meet your expectations? Was it a great addition to the legacy of the animated series? And did you get everything you wanted, or was there something left out? And with that, I am still your reluctant gringo from south of the border, very late in the evening or very early in the morning. Salud and a huevo.